Welcome to our 5 on 5. Please be welcomed again by SOU President Dr. Linda Schott. Thanks for being here, Dr. Schott. Good to see you.
It's good to see you too.
Higher education, certainly a big focus right now in the legislative session. What are you watching closely?
I'd say I'm watching the budget proposals primarily. The governor's recommended budget has no additional funding for higher education. And in an era when healthcare costs and pension costs continue to rise pretty dramatically, that means a funding decrease for us. So if that budget doesn't change, SOU would be looking at either double-digit tuition increases or cuts of some kind. Of course, the governor has put forward an investment budget as well that would provide $120 million for the Public University Support Fund. That would be good. It would help us stay even with those rising costs and keep our tuition increases below 5%. So we're going to be watching that very, very closely.
Yeah, how closely? Obviously, student debt is something that nowadays every, especially public college needs to be watching closely. How does all that factor into what students could be facing as far as their debt?
Well, if we have to raise tuition significantly, that simply enhances how many loans some students will have to take out. And we don't want that to happen. We want students to be able to graduate, get a job, pay off a reasonable amount of loans, and be able to buy a house, do all those things that are good for the economy and good for them and their families. If we can get the additional investment from the state, then we keep our tuition rate lower and students have a better chance. Right now, SOU student debt is pretty moderate. Our students are graduating with an average of about $21,000 in debt. It's really important for the public to know that. I think you hear these horror stories about people graduating with six-figure debt.
Sure. That's
just not the case at SOU. $21,000, the price of an entry-level car. It's a significant investment. I don't want to minimize it, but it's a good investment, one that pays off over the rest of a student's lifetime. So that's a reasonable amount. We don't want it to go higher than that. We just don't want to charge students any more than we have to.
Okay, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Much more in just a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back to our 5 on 5. Again, you're here with SOU President Dr. Linda Schott. We're just talking about the legislative session. A couple local legislators, Jeff Golden and Pam Marsh, are interested in a bill that would require a competency-based education pilot program for public colleges like yourself, like SOU, of course. What do you think of that idea?
I think it's a very interesting idea. I was involved in competency-based education in my former presidency. I've been part of a national network around that. I think it has a lot of potential for some learners, maybe not all, but for some as we go forward. Governor Brown also believes that competency-based education might be an important solution to our issues here in the state of Oregon. So I think this is a very interesting bill that they've put forward. Should it pass, I think we have some faculty at SOU who would be interested in exploring what they could learn about this and how we might be able to implement some programs at SOU. Just to repeat, it wouldn't be every program, every student, specialized programs for certain types of learners.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, it's been about 2 months since you and your presidential counterparts at Oregon Tech, RCC, and KCC announced a consortium, a partnership, if you will, to work together. How is that evolving right now?
We just recently met to discuss collective ideas. We're looking to see how we can all work together to enhance student outcomes and better preparation for employment. Our provosts are meeting to look at programs where there are not overlaps, not duplications, but synergies among programs. And just to give you a couple of specific examples, we've looked for some low-hanging fruit that we can correct. So we have a program that students at OIT and SOU are in together. We learned that every term they have to sign 3 different forms. So we've simplified it. Sounds like a little thing, but it can make a student's life easier. More importantly, SOU and RCC have had an annual transfer articulation summit where our faculties get together to talk about how our courses align, to make sure that students can move credits from the community college to the university. we're now inviting OIT and KCC to that Transfer Articulation Summit. So they will be at the table with us looking at transferability of credits.
Okay, interesting. All right, well, great to see you again. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
All right, stay with us. We'll be right back.